What's up, y'all? Capone Antonio here, and welcome to another Ever Crisis video. So we have reached week 2 of the anniversary for Ever Crisis, which means we got a brand new banner, and this time it is Yuffie. So Yuffie right here, she got the Bahamut Mantle is her costume. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't think it is as good as the other costumes that Cloud and the other two girls got. Well, we haven't seen the other two girls like in a 3D model yet, but yeah, we've seen like artwork and stuff that was already posted, or the wallpapers. So yeah, I think this actually looks pretty good. I think her weapon looks really dope. And just like for Yuffie, she has a hoodie, I swear, for like 90% of her costumes. I don't know. I liked it. I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, Bahamut Mantle. If you already know about Cloud, so it's the exact same R abilities as Cloud. Boost attack all allies, so you get the 10 points, plus 5% for physical and magic attack. Bahamut's Bite, you get the physical attack plus 5% and the attack stance plus 10%. So yeah, it's a very good costume. It's a very good support costume as well, since the whole party's going to benefit from it. You know, it's a very similar setup to Cloud. And the thing is, if you drew on Cloud and you draw on Yuffie, they're going to complement each other both very well. So yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome if you have both of them together. But yeah, Bahamut Cutter for Yuffie. So this weapon is different than Cloud's, but you know, same R abilities. 30 and 12 for R abilities, OB0120 for P attack all allies and physical ability potency. The weapon does 540% physical non-elemental damage with a chance of a crit. Also, magic defense is increased for your all allies mid. And when a debuff is granted, 1.3 damage to the target. So it's a single target weapon, not like Cloud's that is AOE. So it looks pretty similar to other single target non-elemental weapons, kind of like Guide Gloves and Zidane's Sword, but you're going to have an extra buff here, and yeah, that's pretty nice. OB6, P attack all allies, 40 points, 27. Also the special materia slots, P attack sigil boost, circle sigil, 950% physical non-elemental damage. When it gets to OB6, magic defense can go to high now, which is really nice. You know, 2 buffs or 2 uses, you'll get up to high magic defense for the whole party. When a debuff is granted, 1.3 again. So 950 times 1.3, you're going to be like in the 1200-ish percentage. You know, really, really good. And then OB10, you'll get to 1080%, and you'll get more duration on the MDef buff, as well as 4639 on the R abilities. 4 ATB, 693 in the attack, very nice. So 1080 times 1.3 will leave you around 1400-ish physical non-elemental damage, which is higher than both Zidane's Sword and Guide Gloves for Tifa. So this is the best when it comes to a non-elemental weapon. And also it adds a magic defense buff to the whole party. So yeah, it's a pretty big power creep when it comes to those other 2 weapons I just mentioned. You know, literally just got Zidane's Sword reran, which, by the way, that's probably why they did not buff Zidane's Sword. You know, they buffed other weapons and costumes during the FF9 rerun. The reason why they probably didn't buff the damage on Zidane's Sword or add some kind of buff to it is because they did this. And this weapon, yeah, is a total power creep when it comes to Zidane's Sword and Guide Gloves, and was it the Hoonin and Moonin or whatever it's called for Vincent. So yeah, this is a really good weapon. I will say it's like, it doesn't scream like first anniversary, pull me now, this is broken type of weapon. I think Cloud's did a better job at doing that because of that 40,000 damage AOE, you know, guaranteed damage on top. But you know, this is a different type of weapon, so you're getting, you know, it's only single target, but you're getting a magic defense buff to the whole party. So she's going to be hitting hard when it comes to single target, but she also gets a buff on top of it, which is, you know, it's cool. It's different, right? So yeah, what do I think of this? I think it's pretty good. And like I said, her and Cloud are going to be complementing each other both very well. Or if you know, if you just put her in the party again, just like Cloud, if you didn't pull on Cloud, then she will be helping the other physical damage dealers in the party just from her being in the party. because of her costume. It has the P attack or the boost attack all allies, as well as you know, the weapon that has P attack all allies. So yeah, it's a great support DPS, a great non-elemental DPS, great addition to Yuffie's kit overall. For me personally, it's just more of a, like, you know, it just doesn't feel like a massive, like, I don't know, pull me now type of weapon for Anniversary, right? You know, maybe I'm alone on that, but it's still really good. But for me personally, I would rather wait and see what else is coming down the pipeline. But yeah, if you have a lot of crystals to spend and you already drawn Cloud, she's going to complement Cloud very well, and Cloud's going to complement her very well because they're running the same setups where they're P attack all allies and the boost from their costumes. So yeah, the stamp card's the same thing again as Cloud's. You get 3 guaranteed weapons on the second page with a 5-star guaranteed, and you get 1 guaranteed on this page with another 5-star guaranteed. So yeah, and plus the 1.5 per appearance rate, and also Genji Blade will also appear on this banner as well. So if you didn't get the first time around, you have a chance to get it on Yuffie. Or if you didn't draw on Cloud and this is your first time drawing, you still have a chance to get Genji Blade. So yeah. When it comes to setups, what you could run with this weapon for Yuffie, I think the most obvious pick for most people is going to be Arctic Star, because this is, you know, P attack is increased for you and a ally, so she could buff her own physical attack, as well as, let's say she had Cloud in her party. And yeah, and boosted, you know, P attack is great for our abilities, 46 points, and plus you get buff debuff extension, which is going to help this buff, as well as the magic defense buff from her main hand weapon. So yeah, this is a very good one to pair with her new limited weapon. Another one that's kind of a sleeper, 4-point Shuriken, if you have a good one, because for her to do the most damage from her main hand weapon, she's going to need somebody to apply a debuff, right? You have to have a debuff is applied for her to get that 1.3. And she could technically, you know, use this, which does P attack is decrease all allies. And, you know, HP and buff debuff extension, I wouldn't say is like really perfect R abilities when it comes to a DPS. But, you know, she's kind of a somewhat support DPS, so, I mean, you can still make it work. You know, you can get these R abilities and then just fill out the rest with her other back weapons. You know, you're going to really be focusing on P attack because you're not getting it from any of the 2 main hand weapons, or her main hand weapon and this weapon. You'd have to fill out probably 2, possibly 3 weapons that have some kind of P attack on it, on her backside. So yeah, those are the 2 you could technically run. I mean, depending on the enemy, you could also run one of her elemental debuff weapons to go along with this weapon. There's 3 of them. You know, it just depends on the enemy though. But most people, I would say, are probably going to be running Arctic Star. But, you know, you have the option of this as well, especially if you have someone else that's doing the P attack buff. You know, you could have a Kamara Aerith that's doing the P attack buff to the whole party, so you wouldn't technically even need to use Arctic Star. But Arctic Star is still really good just to have, even if she's not using the buff, because of the R abilities. They fit perfectly for a DPS Yuffie that does support. So, yeah. I would say Arctic Star is probably your best bet. And then if you have her like Quake setup or her Wind setup, then yeah, you'd probably run both of these in the main hand. So you'd run, if you're running her Wind setup, you'd probably run Diner Tray in the main hand, run her new weapon in the offhand, just to get these R ability boosts, and having the option for that buff. And because you kind of want to run these in the main hand because you want the potency, you know, from you want the max potency. You don't want to cut that in half when it comes to an elemental build. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on Yuffie. I'd say, you know, October 6th it ends. When is Cloud's end? October 2nd. So yeah, it's you know, she gets a few extra days. You know, I am actually somewhat considering this build because I did draw on Cloud. I did get OB10, and she will be awesome to support Cloud, as well as Cloud is going to be awesome to support her. So yeah, from that perspective, I like it a lot. You know, MDef increase all allies, pretty nice. But, you know, if you have Kamara Aerith, you kind of don't need that as well, too. You know, it really depends on what your account's looking like and, you know, what you're missing and whatnot. But yeah, I still think it's a solid weapon overall. I just don't think it's like I said, like it screams amazing boost. It's an amazing must pull me now type of weapon or setup in general. You know, still really, really good though. But yeah, that kind of covers it for Yuffie. I think that, yeah. Are y'all going to pull on this, or are y'all going to wait for Aerith and Tifa? I think that's my line of thinking right now. I don't think I'm going to pull on any other banners until Aerith and Tifa both release. I assume Tifa's next week, and Aerith is going to be in the final week. So yeah, that's always the smart approach. If you're unsure about a banner, unsure about a setup, you know, save your crystals, think about it, and make a decision once all the banners are released. But yeah, I think it's going to cover it for this video, guys. If there's anything I didn't consider for this banner, please let me know in the comments below. But yeah, if you enjoy my Ever Crisis content, please give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all on the next one. Later.